again, just great. But okay, so we've got our G protein, we've got our second messenger, and so then here's our end. What we're really trying to do: heart beats faster, vasodilation, changes in cellular metabolism. It takes that second messenger system to stimulate this step-by-step process to land here. So you got to get it. You know, this is not kinesiology where you can touch, feel, and see and say, yeah, I see that moving. It is. There are so many reactions going on, and what I'd like you to understand is that there are fast ones and there are slow ones. There are neuromodulators and there are neurotransmitters, and they are signals that can either be fast acting or slow acting and create all sorts of processes that are for healing or just keeping us responding to our environment and increase heart rate. Okay? Working? So lastly, we have as every chapter we finish up with a pathology. And so myasthenia gravis is our pathology of the day, and it has everything to do with a theme we have going on today. Hopefully you've gathered that theme of receptors, yeah? So decreased number of muscle membrane ACH receptors. So the pathology is in the receptor. There's plenty of acetylcholine. There is not enough receptor. Okay, so myasthenia gravis, increasing weakness with repetitive, with muscles that are particularly repetitive in use. So therefore, it commonly affects the eyes and eyelids because of the repetitive use. So you think about all the acetylcholines there, but there's no receptor. So you can't get the muscles to work. You have to have that receptor in order to get the motor unit to contract. Yes? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is the key, that you are with a deficit of ACH receptors in the peripheral nervous system, for motor somatic muscle. It's an autoimmune issue. Have we said that before with all of these? It's autoimmune. And let's see.
It's such a cop-out.
It is.
We really have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of put it that way. So here's our pathology chart. And it is, again, that decreased number of receptors, autoimmune. It's a chronic problem. And the reason it affects the eyes is because they are so active. They also, any other muscles that tend to be repetitive in use can also eventually be affected. You'll see, so consciousness, cognition, sensory, autonomic, all that stuff is fine. Motor, fluctuating weakness increases with muscle use. Cranial nerves are normal, however, skeletal muscle innervation by cranial nerves may be affected, and it's because that's a different receptor, right? And it's ACH for the motor receptors. But that's a good point because it's a different kind of heart, it's cardiac, it's different muscle, and it's not the same. So it affects the peripheral system. Any age, women more often than men, and stable or slowly progressive, and it's really medically managed quite well.
So being the cranial nerves, that's also going to be vagus and...
Well, it's peripheral, but it's peripheral. So yeah, so it wouldn't be the autonomic system.
So respiratory is...
Now, respiratory, the muscles, it can affect certainly respiratory muscles.
I'm just thinking of the diaphragm.
Of the movement, so phrenic nerve, and that kind of movement. It makes sense that would also be affected.
I never hear about respiratory being affected by
Yeah, but you still have a lot of other.
Yeah, maybe there's other.
There's so much redundancy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Redundancy Clever. Okay, so it's all about the what?
Receptors.
Receptors. Today's the day of receptors. Today's the receptive day. It's all about the receptors.
So what about glutamate?
What about glutamate? So you know what? That is such a great, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about glutamate. We have just a couple minutes, and I just want to introduce the idea of glutamate. Well, sort of. I'm just going to do a brief little how do you do with chapter 4, because chapter 4 is like the it's like the highlight of the quarter. It's super, super
That's
cool.
why you were so excited to put it up.
That's what you said about Easton last week.